Hey friends, and welcome back to the Gentleman's Journey. In this one, we're talking about an Australian-made boot. It's the Rossi Endura 301, straight out of Southern Australia. Now guys, this is the boot that almost didn't happen. So what happened is I originally ordered the Barossa, and I had it sent to me. Now we have a traveling business. I had it sent out. I tried it on and it didn't fit. The reason I was going for that is because I wanted more of a slender look. Guys, we're gonna end up talking a lot about my red back boots in this video. It's not a comparison, but it's just gonna happen. So guys, this kind of resembles the red back, and it's a little bit bigger, a little bit chunkier of a boot. I was gonna go for that slimmer profile, kind of like a Blundstone boot, if you will. So I got it to me and it just didn't fit. Now they didn't have a bigger size for me. Of course they have it in Australia, but through the distributor that I'm using, I just couldn't find it. So guys, I sent that back and I had them, they're such a great company to work with. I'm gonna drop a link to them. It's not even an affiliate thing. I'm gonna drop a link to how I get these boots in the description below, but they actually sent these out to me before they even received my other ones, the Barossas. So they sent these to a county fair where I was working and I never got them. So I was super bummed out. I just didn't think the video was gonna happen. I was out the money, and then the company was so awesome, they decided to send me out these boots. Now guys, I just heard from the county fair that they found them in like a back office or something. So it was a huge drama, and I'm telling you, it's kind of hard to get these in the States. We're hoping that it gets a little bit easier, but I have an awesome company that worked with me, and here are these boots that I can review for you guys. Now another thing to note just right off the bat, of course I did buy these myself, but you know, this was actually brought to me by a subscriber. So someone reached out in the comments, and I want you guys to know that I read those comments and I take them seriously. And guys, with your recommendation, I got onto these. Of course, I've done a Blundstone video and then a couple redback videos, always looking for more boots to review. So if you have an idea, drop it in the comments and you just might see it on the next video. So in this one, what you can expect, we're gonna talk about the build quality, the construction, a little bit of the history of Rossi boots, and then we're gonna take them out on a little adventure. Guys, I love putting these boots through their paces. We do 6-month, 1-year reviews. We do a bunch of comparison videos. We do some videos where they just end up again and again. So I'm gonna put these through their paces and we're gonna talk about them. I got them on and they fit, so we're ready to go. So guys, what I like to do is I like to look at the boot and review it top down. So essentially start at the top as if you're wearing them and work through. Now guys, this is a cool boot and I've been excited to get into it. So one of the first things when you're looking at it, you see the pull tabs. Now, as a classic Chelsea boot, you have, especially Australian, because Red Wing I think puts one on the back but not on the front, you have the 2 pull tabs. Now you're gonna think of Blundstone, you're gonna think of redback, you're gonna think of R.M. Williams, right? But this has that awesome Rossi on the front, and on the back it says Rossiteers. Now guys, a little bit about the company. It was formed in 1908. This guy started it just like any good business in his backyard. You know, he worked out in his shop, he made his first boot, started selling a sports boot, and then what happened in the world after 1908? We had World War I, World War II. I think that's where they really got their grounding, is they started selling service boots for the military of Australia. So this guy was outfitting a bunch of the military with some service boots. And then in 1993, they came out with the Endura. So guys, they have the Endura in the 301 and the 303. The 303 is the brown model. I can't even get my hands on that. I kind of wanted brown just because I like that color with a lot of what I wear, but I don't have enough black in my inventory anyways, so that was fine by me. At any rate, back to this, you look, you see the pull tabs. That's a bit of the history, and so they kind of still talk about that. They have it on the little pull tab. Super cool, awesome little pull tab there. With this elasticity, sometimes if you have a big foot, big ankle, you know, you need 2 pull tabs to get in there. Looking down into the boot, you'll see that it is leather lined, and so it has a lining. Some boots don't. That adds to the thickness a bit. The leather lining doesn't go all the way through, and then on the inside you have a removable cushion footbed, and then we'll just go into the midsole, guys. Into the midsole, it's a polyurethane, and then out to the midsole, it's kind of one unit. They glue it together, if you will. There's lots of polyurethane and then rubber in there. Let's jump back to the outside, and this is the black kip leather. So this is a leather that they, if you read on the website and look at some of the reviews, apparently it's super durable. A lot of guys that wear these boots are in the trades. So tradesmen, whether construction, working in a auto shop, a lot of ambulance drivers and stuff like this kind of boot because you can slip it on really well. The leather is oil resistant and stuff. It comes from the factory with a really good conditioner built into it, so it's ready for all kinds of harsh chemicals and the different environments that guys have these when they're in the various trades. Now guys, I don't have a steel toe. I got the regular soft toe, but they do offer various boots from Rossi. You can get a steel toe on there. Again, I think this isn't, it's a bit of a chunky profile. It's not a slender profile, so you might not dress it up as much as you would some of the, like the Barossa or some of the other boots. I think you can still pull it off in a few situations. I think it makes for a really good casual everyday boot, but it certainly leans towards the tradies and just kind of a, maybe you're out on the farm or something like that, a good pull-on boot like that. So what really makes this Endura an Endura is the outsole. Now guys, that's where they put all their technology into. This is that nitrile material, so basically it's full of air molecules. It makes it super lightweight, but it's also slip resistant. It heats up, you can walk pretty much on the sun. It's something like 572 degrees Fahrenheit. Of course, they measure in Celsius, and I did some calculations. At any rate, it's slip resistant. It's good for kitchens and good for, again, I'm gonna keep saying all the tradies and all those environments. I bet you can pull it off if you had some kind of job as a chef or whatnot. But guys, this thing, we're gonna put it through its paces. We're gonna get out and find out how it does. It does feel a little bit smooth and not as grippy, not that rubbery, grippy feel that you get from some other boots. But we'll see how, you know, it's slip resistant, so that's one of the things they boast. We'll see how it does in the real time. We'll get back to you on that. That's something we'll talk about towards the end of the video. A little bit about sizing, guys. They tend to carry like a half size and stuff. It's gonna be harder for those of you in the States to get your hands on some. Again, check the link in the description. You'll see where I got mine. I ended up getting, it's an Aussie 10, so that's a US 11. Pretty much where I align. I did have, I believe I had the same size in the Barossa, but it just didn't fit. It was more of a slender fit, so this offers a pretty big toe box. So guys, I really don't think you should struggle too much. Again, if you need to, get them home, try them on some carpet, and if you need to, at least this distributor, you can mail them back and they'll work with you on that. That's been my full experience with them. Depending on where you order them from, I don't think you'll have any issues. So I do think they carry a pretty good range. It just depends on what you can get at that particular time. So guys, let me know if you have any questions. If there's something I didn't cover, pretty quick video, not a whole lot going on here with the build quality and construction. There's really no loose stitching that I can see. There's not a lot of quality control. There's just not a lot happening there, so I don't see anything. Let me know if you have any particular questions. Again, you know, you have that removable footbed, so you could, if you felt like it was a little bit too big, you could always slip a different kind in here. You can add some arch to it, because again, this boot's not gonna have a very big arch profile. It's not a particularly tall heel, so if you're coming from a tennis shoe, it's really not gonna be hard to transition into this. Again, it's kind of that comfortable, squishy feel. I think they do a really good job with that. Just again, I've just had them on my feet a little bit. We'll talk about some of this stuff at the end of the video. I wanna loop back and talk about my experience with them, tell you guys how I feel they performed on the hiking and stuff like that. So make sure and stay back for that. But guys, these things are made for walking. So let's get out there on a little adventure. Make sure and hang back for that, guys, because I think that's one of the funnest part about these videos. And we'll catch you towards the end. Real quick, friends, before we hit the trails with these things or do what we're gonna do, let's talk a little bit about the care process. Now, guys, they actually have their own care instructions and their own conditioner that they have. Again, it's gonna be a little bit harder for me to get that kind of stuff over here, not impossible, but at any rate, we're gonna go with Cobbler's Choice Leather Cream. Now guys, this is a pretty heavy wax consistency. Of course, we've already done a video on this, but again, it has that triple filtered beeswax, unique blend of seed oils and naturally occurring lipids. The reason I went with this, guys, is because it has that high concentration of wax. When I was looking at what Rossi Boots has, it kind of looked to me like this is like something that would be pretty similar. So this leather, and actually some of you guys talked about this for some other boots online. Some of the Australian boots actually want you to condition them before you ever use them. So a lot of the boots that you get, whether it's oil tan, veg tan, chrome tan, they come from the factory condition. And in fact, when I was talking with Cobbler's Choice, I sat down and had a long conversation with them when I was doing some of these products. They said the only thing they usually recommend is for you to do the waterproofing spray. Now that's because a lot of the leathers come conditioned. So if you can get your hands on the Rossi boots, if you can get your hand on what they want, then I say by all means, you know, go for that. But if you're like me and you're having troubles getting that, then I would just grab some of this. I think it's going to do an awesome job. If you haven't noticed already, I'm throwing this stuff on with just my bare hands. You can use a cloth. Cobbler's Choice sent out a cloth for me. You know, you can use a little microfiber or an old t-shirt, something like that. Friends, while we're here, we'll just talk quickly about the care process. As this leather starts showing age and getting a little thirsty, just put it on there. I think you'll start to know when you start watching your leather, you start looking at it, you start feeling it, and depending on the type of leather, depending on the conditions you're in, it might be more often. If you wear these casually every day and you're using them for work or hiking or something, you're getting them a little dirty, you know what? Maybe twice a month will do it. If you're out there kicking around in the mud and stuff like that, make sure and clean it first. Cobbler's Choice has the leather cleaner. It's a spray. It works really nicely. And so that's always a great option. And then you can condition it with this. They have the oil, and then you can put the waterproofing spray on top as well if you really want to give it that extra layer of protection. I'm going to let this sit for 24 hours. That's what this recommends. And I really, when I'm doing the video, we're going to get dusty and dirty. The last thing I would want for you guys is just to see it caked with dirt. And right now with that layer of wax, that's exactly what would happen. So I'm going to let this sit. I'm going to buff it with a horsehair brush. And then, you know what? We'll come back and go on that adventure. All right, friends, so it's been more than 24 hours. This wax is certainly dry. You know, it's a pretty neutral wax, so it really didn't darken it at all. Of course, it's black leather, but at any rate, it's ready to go. So we're gonna put these guys on. I'm rocking the house shoes right now, friends. I love these things. They are some of my most used footwear. But again, the thing I love about these boots so much is that you can just slip them on. So in terms of my run and gun type of lifestyle, you know, these are the way to go. Now friends, this adventure is gonna be a little bit different from a lot of them because, you know, I consider these my chore boot. So today, we're gonna be putting them to work. Got my little hatchet here. Got some trees to take care of. Gotta manage this little woodland behind us. So friends, we're gonna take you along for that and show you probably some of the most common uses I'll have for these boots. And I think that's one of the neat things about these boots, guys. The house is right there, you just slip them on. So I'm kind of dubbing these my chore boots. That's kind of what my redbacks were. They're just so simple to throw on and go out and do a few little chores. Well, friends, I hope you enjoyed those chores just a bit. Now, guys, this is exactly why I have boots like that. You know, you can do this in any of my boots. This is simple, it's not muddy, it's not anything crazy out here, but you know, for me, this is the kind of use I get out of my redbacks, and I know that's what it's gonna be for the Rossi boots. Now, these things are fitting really, really nice. I did buy, I think, a half a size or more too big on my redbacks, and friends, these things are just awesome. I feel so comfortable. They feel more than capable. They're plenty grippy. You know, I'm up there on the deck of the mower pushing different levers and stuff. Everything's going really smooth. So, you know, it's a really great initial review. I can't wait till we get into that 1-year review. Make sure that you're subscribed so you get notified when videos just like that comes out. Another thing, friends, is these Giver gloves. I always drop a link to them. This is Russian olive, so these things grow these incredible thorns. Sometimes they're up to 2 inches long, and they'll just fester in your hands. So I was able to get through with the hatchet and get a lot of them down without touching them too much, but even then I probably should have had my Giver gloves on. So I can't speak highly enough about this company. It's up in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and I really stand by them. So there's a link below for that. Again, check out Rossi boots below. I got one little round done. I forgot that I really like my nippers for the bottom ones, the ones that are growing out of the ground that aren't attached to the tree. So I'm probably gonna run, drop this load off, grab my nippers and stuff, and come back out, see if we can't get the rest of this cleared up. It's looking really good. I'm excited about it. Friends, hope you're enjoying this content. We got a bunch of fun stuff as always coming across the channel. Hope you enjoy these little outings, if you will. This is a bit of my life, and so love for you guys to come along for the journey. Until the next video, God bless, and hey, don't forget to give those boots some love from time to time. Come on, buddy.